Hey everyone, how y'all doing out there? Final Cut Pro TV Live. We're going to We're going to I'm testing this new software out today. Serena, can you hear me? Just say yes or no. You can't? You can. Okay. So we have a guest coming in, and it's fantastic software. It's called Ecamm Live, and I don't have to use Skype anymore. That's the best. I don't have to use Skype anymore, and I don't have to spell anybody's names anymore. And that's because let me turn this up. Interview. There we go. That's because they have to type their own name in before they come on, before they can join.
Did I spell it right?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. So this is a new feature I have. This is Ecamm Live, and they have the green room. People can log into the green room, and then I put them on the air. Once I see who it is, of course. Since it's the internet, anybody can be logging in. Yeah, exactly. But here's the interesting thing, Serena. I can control your camera and I can control your audio independently, just to the point of if you had a green screen, I can put a backdrop in. I can control your volume. I can zoom in on you a little bit. I can reposition your camera. It is very, very, very cool. It just came out in beta today. Just beta this morning. We've been waiting for this for a while. Let me pull this up.
You're a step ahead of me. I've downloaded it, but I haven't had a chance to try it yet. I purposely logged in. Yeah, I've been using Ecamm for ages, but this is brand new. This is awesome. You're doing this.
Yes.
And
yes.
Who else is on with us?
Nobody yet.
Oh, okay.
I have a couple of people that I've invited from different groups. Even I've invited people from Ecamm Live. I've invited people from the Final Cut Pro Radio Facebook group and some other things just to test it out. It's the green room aspect. I really, really like it. But yeah, I've been using their beta software for 4 months. The betas are very, very, very stable when they come out. So
yeah, I love these guys. I purposely called you on my iPhone to give it a try.
Right.
Just in case, somebody's in the field and they don't have their studio set up, and we'll see what that looks like.
Yes.
I have workers at the house. So they're painting the house. So there's no lights here.
Are they really?
Yeah, they're painting all of the eaves of the house today.
Wow.
So they're here and they're setting up. So it might get a little bit noisy. Is it okay if I don't stay for?
No, absolutely. I just wanted to test. The. Let me see. Pan and zoom.
So is this live on Facebook, or where are we? YouTube, Facebook?
Facebook and YouTube and Periscope.
Can you put the Barbra Streisand soft filter on there?
They haven't got that yet. We have to request that, don't we? For all of us.
If you use iSight, it will help you with that. iSight from the same company.
Yes, you're right. You're right. There is a picture settings. I can select a gamma. You're right. That's true.
Now, okay, here, I have a question. Since this is a test, can I tell you what I see on my end?
Yes.
I typed my name upper, lower. You're all in caps. Can you change my font to match yours?
Yes, I can. And I'm going to type it, and I'm going to do transformations, make uppercase. There you go.
Now, we have some latency I'm noticing on my end.
Now, do you have, let me pull. Are you watching the live stream? You have a choice on your phone. There should be in the bottom left-hand corner, you can switch to just your view, just viewing you live, or viewing the actual live stream live.
Okay, let's see. I've got some, I'm on front camera. Nope, it's giving me, it says on the air, you're in the broadcast. I'm going to take a screen grab of this for you.
Okay. So when you're on the web, you can actually choose which, you can watch the actual live stream, or you can just switch. They have a big picture and a small picture, and the small picture is you by default, and the big picture is the actual broadcast. Everything I'm switching, you'll be able to see. For example,
Right.
I'm going to switch to this.
Nice. Nice.
You can see my desk.
Yeah, I can see your desk. Now, I still don't see on here where I can switch to watch you from the web. Maybe I just can't do that on my phone.
Now, I don't know. That would be weird if you can't. So we're expecting a call from Apple here later. This is my phone directly connected to the Final Cut Pro team.
Red. It needs to be red, Richard.
I like it black, but you're right. It has to be a red phone. Absolutely.
I have one from my mom that actually is a phone just like that, only there's a silver cover for the receiver. You get this silver filigree thing, you pick it up and talk.
So you also should be able to see the comments when they come in. Can you see the comments? There's also a little button. See, on the web, I've only seen the web version, and on the web version, you can see the comments and everything live as they come in.
Yeah, I think, oh wait, I can push the chat there. I can push the chat button.
Yeah, that should do it.
Hello from Abu Dhabi and hello from Singapore. Woo, we're worldwide. Hello.
Hello from the UK.
Nice.
Now, I know you don't need anything, but I'm giving away some apps today.
Nice of you, Steve. Not to me, though. I'm family, right?
Yeah, you can't win. Lumafusion. Give me a copy of Lumafusion. I'm giving away a copy of Fcpx Cut Finder. If you saw that recently, I had him on, Alex. And it finds cuts, all the cuts, and it brings in an XML into Final Cut. And then also Pro Camera is an iPhone app. It's a professional iPhone app that I'll also be giving away today. So.
Oh, darn it. I can't win them. I have LumaTouch.
Oh, yeah, you can have that one. Well,
yeah, I have that one.
Yeah, maybe you can win them. As a matter of fact, you can win them because I tell you what, anybody that joins in the chat is eligible.
Oh, that's nice.
That's one of the criteria. So I'll give you a copy of whatever one you want off the air. I can't do it on the air, obviously, because it's too confusing. Oops. Let me just check one thing. So you're in California, right? You froze up there. So Serena, this is the test of the beta software, so we'll see how this goes. And it's odd. Let me just turn this one speaker off. Turn this speaker off. So I just hear out of the one speaker if somebody comes back in. There she is.
Hey, there you are. Sorry, I lost you for a minute.
I know. It even said that Serena left the call.
That's good, though. This is great. This kind of thing is good to test, right? Because these are the kind of things that happen when you're live.
Listen, they have packed so much stuff into this software, and it works. It isn't, and they're packing useful features. It isn't like they're not useful. This new interview, Ryan Swan says, "Happy Thursday, Richard," and Dennis, I'm not sure which. Hi from Quebec.
Nice.
Gert says hi from the Netherlands. Oh, you must have switched back off again. This is exactly why we are switching. In the meantime, Final Cut Pro Radio HQ You can see the leaves are starting to come down. And we will be giving away copies of these apps. Yes, this James Wells says some gremlins in the system. This is beta software. Absolutely, it is. Some gremlins. This is what I'm doing. I'm testing it out today. Everybody's been very excited for this software. If you're in the Ecamm community, specifically, because we've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. So it's worked out very, very well. But anyway, I'll be giving away some apps today. Let me just turn that down a little bit. There. I keep the microphone just barely out of view. It's right here. I keep it barely out of view. That's the way I like it. If I can, sometimes I can. I'm not worried about it. Let me check on, I have to check on some people because I asked them to join us. And I'm not sure. Garrett says, did he scare Serena? I don't think so. I don't think so. So I'm going to, there she is. Pull that over there.
Hey,
Oops.
Richard.
There we go. Turn this one off.
I'm on my MacBook Pro now, and which is
Oh,
a
you
much
switched.
better-
Okay.
Yeah, I switched over because one thing to note, when you're on your iPhone, it's very hard to see all of the controls that you might have on your end as a guest.
That's what I was wondering. Exactly.
So that's just a little beta note for them. I love this, though. This is wonderful. Yeah, my MacBook Pro is not the greatest camera in the world, but this is good because I can now see there's 19 people watching.
Yep.
And I can even share my screen. I can hang
Yes.
out, mute myself.
Absolutely.
This is awesome. This is wonderful. I love these guys. Okay, so if I go to my preferences, am I interrupting you, by the way? Because I just
No.
jumped in.
This is strictly this is a test today, and since it's going to be a test, I'm going to give away some software while we're on the air. No, this is exactly what it's for.
I'm on my FaceTime camera on the MacBook Pro, and I'm just using, it must sound terrible because I'm just on the microphone from the MacBook Pro.
No, it does. It actually does not. Do you have a 2019 or 2020 or?
It's a 2019.
Okay. No, it doesn't. It sounds good. It sounds fine.
Okay.
Sometimes a little echoey. Must be the room that also is doing well.
Yeah, because I've got high ceilings right behind me there. Okay, so tell me I'm on the broadcast and I'm on the air, which is also nice for the guests to know. You know, because sometimes you don't know if you're on camera or not. It's really nice to have that prompt.
Absolutely.
Wow. This is
Absolutely.
awesome.
So
Okay.
Ryan Swan said, missed the beginning. What software are you guys testing? I'm testing out Ecamm Live. The new beta just came out this morning. I've been using Ecamm for 18 months, something like that. And they've talked about this new beta. We're not on Skype. There's no Skype on Serena's, this way, on Serena's picture, like there normally is. No Skype logo. So they are hosting these things themselves. So you have to get the Pro version. It's only available in the Pro version. So that's one of the things. So I'm testing Ecamm Live, and I'm going to give away some software today.
I'd be willing to bet on our end, as people who produce using Ecamm Live, the audio is going to be better when we don't have to go through Skype.
I would agree with you.
It'd be interesting, right? Interesting to test that. Boy, I look tired. It's early in the morning here.
No, you look fine. It is early in the morning. I have my coffee.
My coffee's in the other room. I just ran in to kind of participate in this a little bit. Hello, Tangler Clark.
Tangier Clark. I think it's Tangier.
Tangier. Sorry. Tangier. Hello.
So it's really neat that it's really neat that you can see all the comments as they come up, right?
Yes. But they're not listing I know why, because I reconnected. So when you reconnect, you only get the comments that have come in since you've been live.
Gotcha.
It'll be really interesting to see, and you can highlight the comments, copy them, and paste them into a note.
There you go.
which I love to do when I'm on, like, on Alex Lindsay's early in the morning. There's so many
Right.
amazing links and everything on that thing that
Exactly.
I like the comments and then copy them over into a separate note, so I can remember who commented on what, or I'll have the URLs. But this looks
Exactly.
great. I can see your screen, which is side by side you and I right now, right?
Exactly. You're watching actually the live stream. That's the
Yeah.
difference. Before you had to log on to YouTube or whatever. And
Right.
you're on your MacBook. Now on the bottom left-hand side, there's a little icon. And you can switch views of the live stream, or you can make you large and the live stream small, or the live stream large and you small.
Okay, I
Okay?
see that. I thought it was just switching screens. Okay.
No, it's
So the
switching your
one that's
view.
just me is the local, it's the local
Your
angle,
view.
right?
That's
And
correct.
what I'm watching now, where I see the two of us side by side, that's the remote live stream.
Yes.
That's
And
awesome.
you also can go dark mode. In the bottom right-hand
Yeah.
corner
Yeah.
is a dark
like
mode. If you,
Yeah. I don't normally like dark mode, but I like this here.
I like
I'm
dark
gonna-
mode for most things.
I'm going to take a screen grab for you so you can see what it looks like on my end later on. I'm assuming that the Ecamm logo down on the bottom left would take me off of what we're doing back to the Ecamm, website.
I don't.
Right?
Well, I don't see that, so I don't know. I wouldn't press any
Okay.
buttons though. Don't press any
No,
buttons.
I'm not. By the way, for those listening or watching, it's Ecamm, ECAMM, two M's on it. And it's really great software. I've been using it for a long time for all of my interviews for OWC Radio are by Ecamm. So I would log on to Skype, and then using the call recorder in Ecamm, I would record the interviews from Skype. And Richard, you and I have talked about this. The audio that was coming off of Skype wasn't always as nice as I wanted it to be. So
Right.
I went to making a safety file using Audio Hijack. But I'm
Right.
thinking that now that Ecamm Live goes direct, that the audio that we are recording is going to be a much higher quality. Not
Well,
as-
they're saying broadcast quality.
This is awesome.
It
And
is
this is-
awesome.
I'm so excited.
You people have no idea. I mean, look, the Ecamm software has been great all along. I've got, this is probably my 172nd show, 172 shows I've done. In the last, all summer, I've been doing them with Ecamm. Matter of fact, anytime I'm in this studio, I'm using Ecamm. It's been like a year and a half. When I'm mobile, I can't, obviously, but other than that, I can. So we're getting a lot of comments today. So everybody that's commenting, hang around because we're going to be giving away software shortly. Serena's already won something because she is helping me. Anybody that logs in and comes on live will win something. That's all. That's all there is to it.
I'm going to turn the tables on you in the next couple of days and do one from my location. You can produce events now remote using this, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So now if somebody is engineering remote and they're not on camera, how does that work? Do you know that yet? Or
I'm not sure what you mean.
So like if you're actually recording from your location and I'm
Yes.
doing an interview for example, OWC Radio, or I'm recording something for you that you're doing, can I be off camera when I'm engineering for you using this?
Can you be off camera? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So
Just turn your
just turn my camera off.
absolutely. Just turn your camera off.
Perfect. Yeah. Oh
And-
my gosh, this is a game changer, you guys. I don't know if anybody listening records interviews for broadcast or is teaching. This is great.
It
Do we have a limit on
absolutely
the
is.
number of guests?
Do what?
Do we have a limit on the number of guests? I don't think so.
Oh,
Do we?
right now it's 4 guests and yourself. So it's 5 total.
Okay.
But they're just trying to ease into it because this is, as you can imagine, people start doing this. This is going off their server somehow. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
They've rented a server somewhere. So they're going to start with 4 guests, but plus you. But you can
Mm-hmm.
also do Skype at the same time.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So you can
That's
even bring in more if you wanted to. So
Now, on normally Cam Live call, you record it and you have a file, a media file after the
yes,
event is over with. So then you can
yes,
post that anywhere you want.
yes.
But with this version, we can still go, we're live on, is this live? I'm sorry, did you say YouTube or Facebook? We're on
YouTube,
Facebook.
Facebook, and Periscope TV. It's on all
Nice,
three.
nice. Tangler is saying this is similar to OpenReel. I haven't used OpenReel.
Yeah, is that an audio thing? That sounds like it's audio, open reel. Except this has a very, very active community. The Ecamm Live community is very, very active.
Now, when I mentioned Tangler Clark, oh, he was asking if it was similar, but his, this is interesting because now on my end, I was seeing Tangler Clark pop up with an icon from the message. Yeah, Tangler, I've never used OpenReel. I've been a kind of a fan of Ecamm for a while now.
Yeah, there's, now that, everything has changed because of this year with streaming and work from home and all those kind of things. A lot of people are getting into this business. And I've talked about this with Brad recently, and I think Apple's going to do something. Because you figure Apple is probably video conferencing with a lot of their employees, and that's tens of thousands of people.
Mm-hmm.
I would not be surprised to see Apple get involved in this space, doing a video conferencing app and getting into this space. Tangier says Tangier like the city in Morocco.
I'm sorry. It looks like an L from here. I apologize. Tangier. That's a very sort of exotic name. Anyway, it's nice.
Exactly. And if you notice also, I'm not using headphones. Are you using headphones?
No.
So the echo cancellation is working very well. Now I'm not up really loud, but I can hear you out of the one speaker.
That's nice. Yeah, it's not echoing at all on this side.
Right. So what are you looking forward to this fall as far as Final Cut Pro goes? Did you heard that Apple is presenting at the Fcpx Global Summit, right?
I did, and I'm excited about that. But
I am too.
I'm sad that we're not going to be.
I am too.
Doing the Apple. What is it? The Apple trivia contest.
Yeah, right. All that stuff. Just going in person, meeting in person, and having bagels and coffee in the morning and discussing Final Cut Pro. Maybe next year. NAB switched to the fall next year. They're playing on it live, but the fall instead of the spring.
You know what? If they use Ecamm Live, I should talk to Jeff and those guys. If they use Ecamm Live for a lounge, people could come and go. You could have somebody running the lounge and people could just come and go and have a beer together or talk in between things. That would really be fun, because that's the one thing with these kind of events that you really miss. You miss people standing in the hall, trading, just catching up with each other. I really miss that.
Well, however, I've been recording the last 3 or 4 creative summits, and I am going to be releasing some of that behind the scenes footage this year since we can't be there in person. And I do have people talking in the lobby, and I do have people talking at the back of the room, and I do have, I'm just walking up on people and just talking to them live, plus all the live streams as well. I'm going to be showing some of that this year. I've never shown it before. I've shown little snippets, but this year, since we can't be there live, I'm going to actually show more. Do sessions in between when they're doing stuff live, and just have, so people can actually see, and we can remember. I have footage, you don't remember this because you weren't there, Armadillo Willie's.
Oh, wow.
I have footage of Armadillo Willie's. It's been closed down for the last 2 years. I have footage of that, and people just talking in the hall, talking in the lobby area. People, I don't record these sessions. I might record from the back of the room. I think I recorded you last year. Maybe a minute or 2, but with the crowd.
Yeah, because I had a broken hip, right? Remember, I was hobbling
Oh, is that?
around on
I remember
crutches.
you had some sympathy, some fake
Yeah.
sympathy crutch thing on. I'm
I
not sure.
am the bionic woman now. I just did 5 miles yesterday.
Did you
It was
really?
yes, yes, yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. It's amazing, just amazing. So, but last year I was on those silly crutches.
So we're gonna give some stuff away. We're gonna give Tangier Clark something. What do you think? He's made a lot of comments.
Ask him what he
Tangier.
wants.
Well, I'm gonna give him a choice. Tangier, you get a choice of Pro Camera, which is a professional app for the iPhone. Fcpx Cut Finder, which is an app that will take a video file and place, I think it places markers where all the cuts are, and you import that into Final Cut Pro pre-cut, or Lumafusion if you don't have Lumafusion. Now, if you don't have Lumafusion, you need an iPad for that. So I don't want to give you Lumafusion, then you have to buy an iPad. That's not fair. That's too much
We
money.
need one of those clocks that's going do 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 do.
Oh, we'll wait till he comments back. So he says, "Yay, thanks. Tell me which one you want. Which prize would you like? Lumafusion or Pro Camera for the iPhone, which is I have that and it's really really cool app. It's a professional application, or FCPX Cut Finder. Just comment back and I'll put you on the list. Well, I'll actually watch back.
There you go. Justin's putting a bid in for Lumafusion.
Okay.
It's Tangiers, isn't it?
Yeah, this one's Tangiers. Hang on, Justin. We have one more copy to give away. Okay, Tangier, you have won a copy of Lumafusion. I'm not going to give you the code now because I'm doing other things. You should see my screen. My screen is just like, well, can I share? Yes, can I share my screen?
Yeah, share your screen and show them everything you can do with
Let
this.
me see how I do
amazing.
that. Oh, it's called live demo mode. Is that? But it's not working. Wait, yeah. Are
No,
you
I
seeing?
can see it. I
Oh,
can
can
see
you?
it. I'll take a screen grab of it.
Oh, that's interesting because so this is all the stuff that's going on right now. I always check my internet speed because I'm doing wireless because I have another camera.
Is that Ookla in the background there?
Is it what?
Ookla, what are you doing? Your
Speed test. Speed test.
Yeah, speed test from Ookla. Yeah.
Is that what it is? So I'm getting
Yeah.
712 down and 34. Usually I get 40, 42 up that we're streaming. I just keep that available so I can test the speed if there's ever any problem. I'm going to turn that off now. Oh, that was interesting because it didn't show me. I guess you saw it and the crowd saw it, but it didn't switch my live view.
But you're seeing it anyway, right?
Well, I'm seeing it, but I just put it when I put it in live view. You get comments. Oh, we got some more comments.
Madness. It's funny. Yeah, maybe that would be a little note to tell them. I mean, it would be really nice to be able to see exactly what your screen is sharing.
Well, they do put a red rectangle around my entire screen. I got a 34-inch screen. It's 34 inches. It's an LG ultra wide, and I'm going to get the bigger screen next time. They have one that's 48 inches or some ridiculous amount of stuff. But the 34 is really, really good for long timelines. But like for this, I got to keep other stuff off the screen. Like I got my mixing board and stuff over to the other side. So Tangier says he has an iPad Pro, so now you have Lumafusion as well. Good choice, Tangier, from Dennis. Justin, who also wants a copy of Lumafusion. We'll see if that happens. Brian Swan's thumbs up. Tangier Clark's thank you, Richard. Thanks also to Lumafusion. They were guests on the show this week.
Okay, Tangier, we have to make a deal with you. If you win something, you have to send us a picture of you using it.
Absolutely.
Send a couple pictures to Richard.
Yeah, and I can switch it to him. And I can switch it over to send it over to the
Yeah, send it to the people at Lumafusion.
So I got one of the comments, wow, that is a lot of icons on the dock. I have a 34-inch screen. It is gigantic. It's very, very long. And yes, I do have a lot of icons on the dock. Absolutely.
Well, and once you get your broadcast set up, you don't need to keep all of those open. Although for the test, it's good. But
yeah, let me just check here. You're absolutely correct.
I mean, once you set somebody's camera up and, but you've got guests coming in and out right now. So it's good to keep all that up on the dock. What I love about Ecamm is just the flexibility to create your production environment. It's so easy.
So Tangier says, I'm teaching high school students how to edit using mobile devices, so this will be a great tool to share. And since they gave you a free copy, you should get your students to buy a copy as well. It's the best app. I bought that years ago because of Steve Martin's recommendation. He recommended it one time, and I had it ever since then. And there's been no charge. Justin says, I feel like every app you own is on that icon. He means on the dock. No, it's not actually everything I own. It's what I use. I have a lot of utilities on the left-hand side. I have all kinds of utilities. And then in the middle section is Final Cut Pro and Logic and a couple of heads for Mac and a couple of other things. And then on the right-hand side is other graphics things. And I have all kinds of stuff. I like them in the dock though. I like them in the dock. So that's where I access them most of the time. So let's give away. So we gave a copy of that to Tangier. Let's give away another app. Let's give away a copy of Fcpx Cut Finder. Justin says, do you use Magnet? I'm not sure what Magnet is. Is that some kind of a dock thing? And Tweaks says, have you done a backup lately? I do a backup once a week for I have a Mac Pro. Serena has a Mac Pro. We're both members of the Mac Pro Club. And I'm going to brighten you up a little bit. I forgot I can do that.
I'm actually in the studio on the other side of the house here. I've got Hedge transferring media onto the Mac, from the Mac Pro to the server.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so Hedge is hard at work over there.
So have you done a backup lately? Yes, I've done a backup. I back up my Mac Pro hard drive, which is 2 terabyte to a spinning hard drive. I back it up here once a week, but I also have Backblaze. So Backblaze runs all the time, and I lost a 2 terabyte drive somehow. I think it was because I was trying to partition it for Big Sur, and I wiped it clean. And I said, oh, well, whatever. I guess I don't need everything that's on there. And then I said, wait a minute, I got Backblaze. I went on Backblaze and downloaded everything off that I had. They had the whole thing stored away. It took me a couple of days. You can't download the whole thing at once. You got to select the files. So that was fantastic. So I'm I like Backblaze a lot. As a matter of fact, I went from 30 days archive to 1 year archive. Now it archives for 1 year.
So Backblaze used to charge to recover files.
If you get a hard drive or a flash drive, they don't charge if you just download it. Unless you want, if you can get a hard drive shipped or a flash drive shipped, yes, they charge for that. There might be some kind of expedited service that they have, a Premier service that they charge you for, but no, it didn't. It just takes a few days. You got to keep organized. So Justin says it's a window organizer. I've been awesome for that use of a screen. He's talking about Magnet. So Justin, we're going to give you a copy of Fcpx Cut Finder for giving us that helpful information about Magnet. I got some more stuff to give away.
You should ask Tangier if he wants to come on.
Here's the thing. He doesn't even have an icon in his social media. He might be a little shy.
Are you shy, Tangier? Don't be shy around Richard and I.
No, absolutely not. So we give away a copy of that, and Justin says, sick, thank you. You're completely welcome. I will contact me on Facebook or Twitter. If you have to, you can go to fcpradio.com, just click on there and contact me, and I will get your information, and I'll send let me see. You're on Facebook. So just contact me on Facebook, and I'll message you your code after this event. This event's going on right now.
Can we ask what NLE?
Tangier said he'd love to. I am not shy. Well, Tangier, if you want to come on, you're on YouTube. I can't post on YouTube. I can make an icon. He said he's not shy. He can make an icon.
Well, if Tangier sends you a message on Facebook, you can respond with the link.
I'm not even worried. I'm not even worried about putting the link public because I control who comes on. As you know, you went into the green screen, the green room first, right? And I can see who you are. And if I get somebody that's a clown, I can delete them, or I can.
That never happens on the internet. Come on.
Once in a while. Can I ask a question about Final Cut Pro? Absolutely. This is Final Cut Pro TV Live. Absolutely. Ask away. So we just got 10.4.9 at the end of August. Less than 30 days later, we got 10.4.10 for a bug fix update. Now, what I've been saying is the next update going to be 10.4.11 or 10.5? Because now that they've got 10.4.10, that opens the door for 10.4.11, 10.4.12, 10.4.13, 10.4.14, 10.4.15, whatever they want to do. Once they went from 9 to 10 to single digits to 2 digits, they can do whatever they want to do. So ProRes RAW ISO white balance, please. That's what they want, I guess, in the next version of Final Cut. ProRes RAW ISO white balance. ISO white balance. I guess they've given us some controls for ProRes RAW in the new version of Final Cut, but they haven't given us enough. Is that what he's saying? Nico said that. Puix123 says, in the browser, there are projects with arrows next to them. What do the arrows mean?
Those are the arrows that gets you from your single screen to the multi-screen live stream. So you can click on the arrows. It's not going to do anything. It's not going to harm anything.
I think he means in Final Cut.
Oh, I thought he meant the arrows here on our screen.
No, I think he means in Final Cut. He asked a question about Final Cut. So, and Justin says, I'm hoping for a huge 10.5 update just like we got on Logic. Well, look what they gave us in 10.4.9. All these great features. The proxy workflow feature, the you can put multi-resolution media on the same timeline. You don't just have to do proxy or optimized. You can do the both. All kinds of great features. They gave us that much in 10.4.9. Just imagine what 10.5 is going to be. So Tangier says, thanks, Serena, for the invite suggestion. I was supposed to present at LAPC UG this year, but COVID-19 happened. Tangier, if you can message me somehow on Twitter, I can send you the link, or I can just post the link on YouTube. What the hell? Should I do that? Ryan Swan says those are turned down menu for keywords, used media. Those are the arrows. That's what he's saying. I don't have a copy in front of me right now, so I can't look at it. Justin says, I'm loving that new proxy workflow. 10-bit is a pain. Dennis says, love the proxy workflow. That proxy workflow is fantastic. Not only is it fantastic, they've implemented it very, very well, except with one exception. When you have proxy media, like in the browser, in the timeline, if you click on the clip, the inspector doesn't say what resolution the proxy media is. It says proxy, it's a little proxy tag. It shows you the full resolution of that clip, the original. I understand why it does that, but I'd like to have a proxy with 12.5%, 25%, 50%, 100%, or the actual resolution size. It doesn't tell you what it is. And the reason is, one time, the first time I got it, I did some proxy media for testing, and I forgot what I did. Did I do 100 or do 50? I couldn't remember. It's H.264. I know that. And nowhere in Final Cut can you find that information. Not yet. I do expect that to be corrected, because it's not that big a deal. Tangier says he will message me. Message me on Facebook. Let me pull up. Where is my Facebook? Okay, here we go. And if you message me, I will send you the link. Let me see. Message. See if I got any messages. Search in Messenger. I don't have any messages. I don't know. I can probably put this up on. I'm going to put this up on YouTube. What do you think, Serena?
I mean, I think that's why we're doing a beta.
Yeah.
It'll be in the chat, right? So you can always delete it later if you need to. Tangier,
Well,
where are you located?
It's not so much that. Actually, I want to pull this up. I forgot to do that. He messaged me on Twitter. I'll get right back to you. I forgot to do this. One thing I forgot to do. I like putting the YouTube link up on Twitter, and I forgot to do that today. So I'm going to do that first.
Well, while you're doing that, I'm just, for some of the new people that just came in, they may not know that what we're doing is a live test of Ecamm Live. This is a beta software, so that's why we're kind of asking questions and moving all over the place. You guys tell us if you're having problems on your end. This is Richard's test, but as usual, I'm talking too much.
No, go right ahead. I'm on Twitter. I'm going to post the actual link.
So Richard and I both use Ecamm Live for our interviews that we do. I've used it for everything. Oh my gosh, I think I've been using Ecamm Live since they very first came out with the first version. And the old Ecamm as well, before they came up with Ecamm Live. And it's wonderful. And what we were saying, for those of you who just came on, that Richard and I are both really excited about the quality of the audio. We feel is going to be a lot better than it is when you're going through Skype, because there's some degradation that happens with the audio if you're using Skype. So we'll let you guys know.
I'm going to be right.
Go ahead, Richard. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying I'm just going to be right back. I'm just posting this. I forgot to post a YouTube link on Twitter, which I like to do. They post the Periscope link all the time, but I like having a YouTube link up as well. So he said, oh, here's a message right here. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Here we go, Tangier. I'm going to send you let me copy it. Here we go. I'm going to send you the link to log in live, copy on Twitter, and you can log in. It's pretty self-explanatory. They ask you to pick your camera, pick your audio source, and basically that's it. Pretty easy.
Dennis is asking if this is pro version or standard version. I think, Richard, you're on the pro version.
So here's the deal. This is only a pro version. Tangier's in Los Angeles. Okay, that's cool.
Cool.
This is a pro version feature. You can get 2 hours to test it out if you're on the standard version. And if you buy it by the year, it's not too bad. The cost, I think it's like $20 a month, $240 a year, something like that. But you get 20 hours. There's Tangier. You get 20 hours. We're going to put you on live. Okay? We're going to put you on live. Let's do that. I'm going to put him on. And I'm going to put your name on. There you go. Tangier Clark. Nice meeting you. I've talked to you quite a bit. I haven't met you before. Is your mic on? I don't
Can't hear you.
Yeah, we're not getting any signal from you for some reason.
You're not muted.
And I'm gonna make his
Can you hear me now?
update. Yes.
How about that?
Yes.
Okay, Richard. I'm using an old, actually the adapter you suggested. What was that? That HDMI USB.
That cheap one?
I bought that because you suggested it, the cheap one, and I'm running it through a GH3. I figured I haven't used this camera; it's sitting around, so I might as well use it for something.
Absolutely.
So I'm using this GH3 with a shotgun, short shotgun mic on top. So hello,
Fantastic.
thank you for bringing. Hi, Serena.
Hi, nice to see you.
You too. Thank you.
So I'm using a GH4 because the same thing. I have a GH5. I don't use my GH4 that much, so I use my GH4 for streaming, and I have that cheap one, and I have a couple other ones that I buy. I bought a second 4K. I'm actually using the Elgato 4K right now.
Okay.
So Tangier, it's so great to meet you in person. This is fantastic.
Yes, thank you. Finally, too. It's nice it's kind of strange to be on, and I to get a link. At first, I wasn't sure what the link was for. I said, was it for Lumafusion? And I just realized right before you put me on, I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to actually be live, like really live, and then I've got to teach a class in 30 minutes, but it's fine. I'm ready to go.
Exactly.
This is great. Is
that what you do? Teach? Is that what you do for a living?
So I do. I teach part time. I actually have been kind of engaging the world of teaching a little bit for about a little off and on for about a year, just to see if it's something that I like to do.
Okay.
So originally, back at Loyola Marymount many years ago, I got my master's that I could teach university level, but I haven't got there yet. But generally, to answer your question, I'm motion picture editor. That's what I built my career on, 18 years. And
let me guess.
Yes.
You use Final Cut Pro 10.
Oh gosh, yes, major proponent. Huge. I will fight people tooth and nail over Final Cut Pro. Yeah, I recognize that there are some features between all the NLEs that are, maybe they're a little bit better on one NLE versus the other. Maybe Avid might be better in certain work group situations than others. I recognize that. But at the end of the day, I always kind of circle back to, was it Focus? I think it was Michael Cioni. Well, Michael Cioni, when I went and saw him, and he coined that phrase, at least I thought he coined it, the price per frame. And when he broke that down,
he's a very clever guy. Yeah.
And I tell people, when producers really understand the economic productivity value of using Final Cut, when they can boil it down to dollars and cents and not so much focus on the ROI, it doesn't make sense not to use Final Cut. It just doesn't. And so I did a presentation on that about a month and a half or two ago, and there were some aha moments where people who bashed me and talked bad about me, they said, "Oh, now I get it. Now that you're explaining it." Yeah. Especially when I showed them rolls. Oh boy, it was a big deal.
I had Charlie Austin on yesterday it was from the West Coast specifically about rolls. He's a real big roll proponent. He cuts trailers for motion pictures and stuff, and he knows audio real well. As a matter of fact, he's done a couple for Apple. If you were at NAB in 2017, 2018, beautiful promotional trailers. He's the one that cut all that stuff. So I'm just so excited. This is so good to see you in person, because I've never met you before. And I've always seen you on YouTube. You just have a generic icon, so I have no idea what you look like.
And I will be honest, I am, and maybe it's just, I don't know if it's my age or maybe not. I'm 43 years old, and
that's young.
And I think when it comes to social media, like Instagram, Twitter, I'm on Facebook. I'm not, I set up an account, and I'm not as deeply into it as kind of configuring every facet of it and things like that. And you know what? Actually, I think I had a picture at one time, Richard. And when you were doing a show once, I think somebody kind of came in and started typing some really negative things.
Oh, I remember that. And that's exactly why I told Serena I got a monitor. I pulled my picture, I think, after that, because I was a little concerned about, with things going on in general, how people can use your face and do things. And I was kind of a little nervous about that. Sure. No, I understand.
Yeah. But I don't have a problem putting it back at all. Not at all. I'm not shy.
Yeah, but I'm glad Serena suggested it, and I'm glad you came on, because I said, well, he's got a generic icon. Maybe he's a little bit shy, but no, not shy at all. And you can show your classes today. You can say, "Hey, I was on the internet today."
No, I can't wait to tell them, actually. And today we're doing reviews of their first project, and because of it is incredibly hard to teach a media production class remotely. When in an equitable way, when we're not at school with all the cameras and the facilities and the gear. So we're doing the best we can with people's, with their phones and things like that, and those who have computers and Final Cut, doing the best we can. So today we're just reviewing their content and sharing with one another and critiquing. So it's good though. I'm trying to make the best of it.
No, absolutely. So
but I continue to work.
Yeah. Well, this software, once again, I've been using Ecamm Beta for 4 months, all summer long. The beta, I switched from the regular version to the beta version. I had no problem, complete confidence trying this out today. But isn't it, so when you first logged in, you see a screen, you can see yourself, right? In the video
Yes,
camera.
if I'm looking to the right, because I'm basically the GH3 is in the center, center between two monitors. So I'm looking at my right screen, and I'm seeing. I saw a little screen, and I used your link, and then it was very simple, like really simple. I've seen other software, and it's not that simple.
Exactly.
Outside of Zoom, and so I just put my name in, and I think I was kind of caught off guard because I was just there.
Right.
It was.
Right to the green room, exactly. And then I can always, I can always keep people. I can see who it is first off, so I don't get somebody that's, wants to mess around, some clown or something wants to mess around. And even then, I mean, I could have a clown on as well. I've had Chris Fenwick on before, so he's.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great. It's and thankfully I'm on. I switched to not too long ago to AT&T Fiber, so I've got plenty of bandwidth. Especially now, I'm working. In the last 2 weeks, I've been testing out, and I mentioned this. And I know Serena, sounds like you're already using at least one of their products, PostLab Drive, with another editor. So I'm in Los Angeles, and he's in near Las Vegas, and we're testing this workflow, working on a project together, and it's fantastic. So yeah, it definitely helps.
So I'm just going to check.
Friend me on Facebook. We have a couple things to talk about.
Absolutely. I'll do that.
And I think anybody that's in our chat here, you guys look like real people. You're welcome to friend us on Facebook. So we can keep the conversations going. Richard, I'm noticing a little bit of degradation in the signal on my end since we
same here.
Invited Tangier in.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't see it at all here.
I'm seeing the same. I'm seeing the same degradation, kind of like when a Netflix starts to break down a little bit.
Buffer.
When it's
it's a little pixelated at the moment.
That's interesting. So I'm not seeing that on my end. So I'm doing a good recording of this, a 1080p recording. So I have the actual what's actually being sent out. It's it's hard to control, even though it's going to their servers. Then it has to go to you guys. I don't know how they do it. It's two young brothers. They've been doing this for a long time, Ecamm. And I'm not sure how they do it. It's some kind of magic that they're doing. I don't know. I don't understand. Let me just check and make sure nobody.
I think we should just let them know that this is happening. When I go to the view of my signal isolated, the video looks just fine. And if I swap over to the group view where I'm seeing the live stream, then that's not as high quality.
Right. But like I said, here it's okay. The actual recording is going to be fine because I'm monitoring. I'm not seeing that at all. So it's something going back to the server or going back to you guys if you're both seeing it. And I'm getting, let me just test my upload speed. I have an Ethernet connection, but if I do that, I'm going to disconnect one of my cameras. Yeah, I'm up 670 download, and it's going to be like 35 to 40 uploads. So we should be fine. I keep that up now just in case there's a problem.
Same here.
35 up, so we should be fine.
I was going to go to, I was also going to, here we go. Okay, I'm logging in on another, I'm logging in, here we go. I can see the test live on YouTube on another window here, and it actually looks fine.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to do that because we're going to have echo, but the visual looks fine on YouTube.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. So yeah, that's, I don't even know where to begin to do something like this. So one of the things that I'm doing, I've had a recording studio for years and I record bands. I haven't done it for the last 3 or 4 years, but recently I brought my reel-to-reel decks back out, and I wanted to get back into recording bands because I like music so much. Well, of course, then we had COVID, and you can't go out anywhere. I'm hosting a concert here Saturday at 4:00. A live
Ooh.
band. They're going to be. It's called. I'm calling it the Garage Series Live. They're going to be. I have a double car garage that's 18 feet wide, and they're going to be right at the entrance door of the garage. So basically, they're outside, and then any audience. It's not really for an audience. It's for the live audience. It's going to be out sitting on the driveway, 6 feet apart or more. But I'll be streaming that live Saturday at 4:00, so that'll be cool. And I'm going to have another band in 2 weeks. God, I miss music so much.
Using the eCam, are you gonna?
Not the interview mode. This is the interview mode specifically.
Okay, got it.
So, but I will be definitely using eCam. But in that case, I'm going to have 3 cameras. So listen. I have this amalgam of things that I use. So I have something called Sling Studio, which is a hardware device. And with Sling Studio, I can use HDMI cameras wirelessly. I have a wireless transmitter I can go in. But one of the other features, the reason I'm using that, I can use any iPhone that has a camera by downloading their app wirelessly for free once you buy the Sling Studio. So I can use iPhones as camera sources, and I can switch iPhones and my main camera. I'll be using the GH5. So that'll be Saturday. If you go to Richard Taylor, I'll put it up, the Richard Taylor TV on Facebook, social media. Let me put that up. And don't friend request me, okay? Because I don't know you. People come on there all the time. Just follow me. You can follow me on Facebook. If I know you, you can make a friend request. But it's facebook.com, Richard Taylor TV. And it'll be broadcasting on there Saturday, right around 4:00. And I'll be recording it, of course. And
I see.
Switch to ISIS. Richard, you're so cool. That's funny. Thank you. But here's a go. Justin says on your Facebook profile, there's a picture. Let me turn that off. There's a picture of you with an old Mesa Boogie. Yes. Which model is that? That's the Mark III, Mesa Boogie Mark III. It's all tube except for the EQ, which is I find that the EQ a lot of times is better, with not with tubes. It seems to have better. We just got another comment from Marchillo. I love Final Cut Pro 10. I wish I could give you a copy of Final Cut Pro 10, but I can't do that. However, I will give you a copy of Fcpx Cut Finder. And Tangier, you also get a copy. Did I give you something already? I did, right?
Yes, you did.
You already won. So you got a copy for coming on. So Marcello, now I have to go back to this stream. I have to see who I gave stuff to because I can't keep track of it. I can't write it down right now. That's what I did last. Marcello, I give you a copy of Final Cut Fcpx Cut Finder. Contact me after the show. You're on YouTube, and I'll give you the license for that to get that. We also got this Pro Camera app to give away, some iPhone versions. For the iPhone, it's really good. And the reason I found that, Jagat says, I'm waiting for my turn of freebie. Okay, we'll give you a copy of I'll get you a copy of, do you have an iPhone? Is it Jagat? Jagat, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. If you have an iPhone, make a comment and I'll give you a copy of an iPhone app. So let me know, comment back, and we'll give you some free stuff. These vendors give me free licenses. It's fantastic. Let me see what he says. Yes, okay.
Now, Richard, I'm going to have to steal my my iPad Pro back from my daughter. She uses it for school, for remote learning.
Right.
I literally have, it's interesting. I've said, look here, you can use my laptop. It's a bigger screen.
Right.
Because I'm at my desktop right now, the 2015 late Mac Pro, and I said you can use my laptop or they have a Mac Mini that my son typically uses, and so all these other options. She goes, no, I just rather use the iMac Pro with the Magic Keyboard. I said, you're sure you don't rather have the bigger screen? She goes, no, I like having the keyboard and the pen, and I can do my schooling and everything. So it's just an interesting kind of Screen size doesn't matter for her. It's just being able to hold it, being able to draw, being able to walk with it, the functionality. To her, that's a computer. A laptop,
Exactly.
the iPad Pro is more computer to her than my MacBook Pro.
Young people, touch. It's all
Yes.
about touch because of the phones and the iPads. So I'm going to pull up, tell me, you should see this. I'm going to pull up here is the Pro Camera. It is not Pro Cam. Pro Cam is a different app. And I'm going to give a copy of that Pro Camera, iOS, iPhoto, an editing app bursting with state-of-the-art technology. And I really like this app. I have all the camera apps, right? I really like this one for one specific reason. And that specific reason is with the native camera app, I can switch the cameras while I'm recording. So I have the iPhone. I have my iPhone 11 Pro Max. It has 3 cameras and 3 lenses. I can switch to any of those 3 while I'm recording. The only other app I've found that can do that so far is Pro Camera. And that's how I got in touch with them. Because I texted, I was on Twitter, and I said, this is the only, the native camera app is the only app I know that can do that. They said, no, our app can do that as well. I said, well, there you go.
Ryan's bidding for some free stuff too. He's giving us Final Cut shortcuts.
Okay, Ryan, I'm going to give you a choice of Fcpx Cut Finder or Pro Camera for the iPhone if you have an iPhone. Tell me what you'd like to have. But anyway, so I've suggested I have half a dozen iPhone camera apps. This is the only one that allows me to switch cameras while recording, so I use it because of that. It also has audio meters and a lot of other pro features that you can get. So
Richard, you're running this. Serena, are you a guest in the way that I am? Like I'm looking at my screen and I'm seeing the 3 of us, but I'm looking through Safari. It's still really, really degraded. I don't know if you guys use Chrome and maybe there's a difference in the way it uses memory or not. I'm just wondering. I'm Safari.
I'm on Safari too, but I have a 1 gig connection here. So
yeah,
I'm
same.
getting good up and down.
Yeah, you guys are lucky. I'm still on, I don't have fiber here, but it could be, coming in, you're completely clear. I'm doing a completely clear recording, so I have that recording. I don't know if YouTube's different. I don't know what the deal is. The other thing is, hey, this came out in beta this morning. Hundreds and hundreds of people might be all of a sudden slamming the servers. And that could be why from here out, it's getting a little bit degraded.
Could be, but I did check it from another window on Safari, and the YouTube feed looks fine. Those of you who are watching YouTube, if you would comment and let us know, that would be great.
There you go. So in other words, the eCam, you're seeing the eCam version, that is perhaps a little bit degraded, but it's not for YouTube. So Ryan Swan says Finder, Cut Finder. It's Fcpx Cut Finder, please. Thank you very much. Ryan and you're on Facebook. Just message me on Facebook and I'll send you that code after we get off. I'm not going to do it now. You've seen my screen, you've seen my dock. I'm concentrating, just trying to do everything that I can. I like doing a one-man thing as much as I can. I don't need anybody else. So he says, well, that's a cool feature. And it says, how is Pro Camera compared to Moment? Once again, with the Moment camera, I have that as well. And I use that with my Moment lenses. I have 3 lenses for the Moment. You cannot switch cameras. Well, with Moment, if you use Moment lenses, you can't switch cameras because you'd be blocked because of a physical lens in place. But as far as this is the only Pro app, iPhone app that I've seen that you can switch the cameras live, just like the native camera app. Now, here's something. How many times have you heard as professional that good audio is at least 50% of good video? Has anybody ever heard that before? And it's true. There's no audio control on the native Apple camera app. 0. There's no VU meters. There's no controls. Come on. Good audio is important.
You're stuck with whatever you get. Yep.
You're stuck with whatever you get. So give us VU meters and camera controls in the native iPhone camera app, please. Everybody knows it's important.
Richard, do you have a
That's
like
why I
a
like
destination?
Pro. Sorry.
Oh,
I
I'm,
was
I'm
just
sorry. I was just asking if you had a destination page of kind of like all of your the gear and the tools, because this is like I said, I'm using my setup now and some of
Well,
the things
here, look at
I've learned.
this. Look at this,
Yep.
Tangier.
What's-
Here's my
Oh,
desk.
I've seen. No, I've seen that.
So
I've seen those.
here's one USB device. This is my main Mac one, but this one is a preamp with my microphone. And you've seen all this. Hey, look.
Yeah. Oh yes.
I'm expecting a call from the Final Cut Pro team today before we get off here.
Yeah.
Richard, is that an OWC dock up on the top of the screen?
On the top here?
Yeah.
No, this is the base of my monitor, but I have two OWC docks. You can't see.
I see. That does look like an OWC dock,
I
actually.
know it looked like the
I
dock
have-
for a second there.
I have two OWC docks right behind the phone. I have two of them that I use. I mean, listen, people say all the time, they talk about, their ports. I have eight Thunderbolt 3 ports and 6 USB 3 ports from my Mac Pro. 8 Thunderbolt 3 and 6 USB 3 ports. They're not all filled up.
You guys got really clear. Sorry to interject. I just wanted to let you know in case something changed.
What
For
happened?
me, like
Everything's clear now.
everything's clear all of a sudden.
Okay. So that must be like their servers or something we're getting slammed, or they've maybe they've upped a tier because they were getting too many things. So Square Eye Television Limited, hi from the UK, great topics, thanks. So he says, love the old phone. That is a special phone directly to the Final Cut Pro team at Apple, which we'll probably get a call from shortly. Square Eye, you win a prize. We're going to give you a copy of Fcpx Cut Finder. Hopefully you're using Final Cut Pro X, Final Cut Pro 10. He said it's been clear in the UK. Thank you for that very much. So if tell us you have Final Cut Pro 10. You should be if you're watching this live stream. And if you do, you get a copy of Fcpx Cut Finder after the show.
It's interesting, Richard. I was trying to see if I can find it quickly, but I can't at the moment. But from the UK, there's an article I came across several months ago about why Final Cut is doing so well in the UK, and basically the article boiled down to the mindset in terms of in the UK they're more progressive and trying to do what makes the most sense and most efficient, whereas here in Hollywood we have a lot of legacy and ego, and we kind of Hollywood in the general sense, not literally Hollywood, Los Angeles, but kind of domestically our film scene here, that we're not quite as progressive as the UK is in terms of changing workflows that are the most efficient to do.
Well, it has to do with Hollywood. There's a couple of issues. Number one, it's a very small percentage. Apple announced 2.5 million seats of Final Cut Pro 2.5 years ago. 2.5 years ago to NAB, 2.5 million. At this point, there are probably 4 million seats. However, Hollywood is very important because of the prestige, because of the high profile gigs they have. I understand that they're sticking to Avid because it's hardware.
Oh yeah.
And all the hardware they got, the servers and the everything. If you just took all that away and just compared the Avid NLE and the Final Cut Pro NLE, it would be a different story. But you really can't, because Avid is attached to all that hardware. I understand that, all that legacy stuff. But that doesn't mean it's not going to be changing, especially coming up forward with people using iPads and iPhones and touch everything. I mean, we already have Lumafusion on the iPad. Somebody, at some point, there's probably going to be a Final Cut Pro version, for the iPad, but I think it's going to have to be dumbed down. I don't see how it could be as powerful as the desktop version. I don't see that. I don't see how it's going to happen. So, especially with the new Silicon Macs coming out.
It's going to take individual producers who are going to specify that they want their team to use Final Cut, especially if it's a pickup for Hollywood. But like years ago, I was producing some films for Nat Geo at the time, and in the middle of delivering a 1-hour show to Nat Geo, they said, "Oh, can you also cut?" And I'm directing. but they said, can you also cut these 26 interstitials for us? And I said, no, not if I have to work with an editor on Avid. I said, if you let me cut them on Final Cut, I'll do it myself. And they said, okay. And so
Is that right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Absolutely. Yes. And that's how I did my first actual dialogue editing with Final Cut. And now I use Final Cut to edit the weekly when I'm editing, not when somebody else is editing it. But I use Final Cut to edit audio only a lot. It's a lot more robust than a lot of people think.
No, there's a I've talked to Patrick Southern, I've talked to Michael Yanovich, I've talked to a lot of people that have edited films in Hollywood, and I found that there's a cabal, there's a Final Cut Pro cabal there that they get together and talk about things. Look, we've already seen Final Cut editing films. Focus was the first one, but multiple ones since then. The Banker recently, Hollywood films. We know it can be done. Yes. The legacy problem is attached to all that legacy Avid physical hardware more than it is the application, although they have that phrase find, which is pretty cool. I'm pretty jealous of that.
And the multi-editor, multi-person workflow, which is pretty robust on Avid.
Now, the interesting thing about that I've always found curious is there's no way for you to ping another editor in the application to unlock a bin. It's all instant message or it's SneakerNet. That seems so bizarre to me. You both have the application open. Couldn't it be a message system internally where you just press something? Hey, can you unlock this bin for me?
Ooh, you know what? I'm glad you said that, Richard. I'm really glad you said that because I'm going to reach out to Isaac. Isaac at Post Lab. I've been talking with him for the past few days, helping me kind of get up and running. And I'm going to make sure I clearly understand all the feature sets and see if there's some little extra tidbits. I know they're working hard on some other things.
Are they doing it for Avid, Post Lab?
I can't. I believe they're going to be doing that too. Do you know, Serena? I can't say with certainty. I don't know. I'm just. Yeah.
I know they work with Premiere and Final Cut. I'm not sure, but talk about Post Lab, Hedge. I've had them on recently, and not only are they doing Hedge for iOS, just in beta right now, but I love that drive.
Oh, I'm using it now, and between that and this new proxy workflow, I literally 3 weeks ago I couldn't be doing this effectively. Literally 3 weeks ago. Now, and because I don't have to make proxies inside Final Cut, now I don't have to have it be bound to the Final Cut database anymore. I can send QuickTimes from my Mac Pro. I send them to my MacBook Pro because it has QuickSync, so it'll churn through those conversions much faster. And then I upload them to Drive, and the editor and I can work off the proxies, and I can keep the masters here and relink. It is fabulous. It is absolutely fabulous. So it takes some getting used to, but we're about to go full steam ahead for several months on this workflow.
So Tangier, you can't see this, but not only can I adjust every individual volume of all my guests, I can also adjust your camera.
I noticed you just aligned mine.
Exactly. So I just zoomed in on Serena a little bit, and I brought her back up. And I can, if you have a green screen, I can change your background. And I can,
nice. Wow.
I can adjust the brightness.
If it's similar to OpenReel. I wasn't sure if it was similar to OpenReel, but this is really amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. It's Ecamm Live. I've been a big proponent of them for I don't know. I've been doing these streams. This is probably my 172nd show that I've done live. Not all with Ecamm. I started just on Facebook Live. The original Facebook Live I did was at the Fcpx Creative Summit in 2016. 720 by 720 video is what they recorded in those days off the iPhone. 720 by 720. So.
Well, listen, both of you, I literally have a class in 3 minutes.
Okay.
3 minutes, but I so appreciate. I wanted to meet you in person and possibly at the final at Apple and for the summit. And Serena, I've watched you. So this is a really this is a special treat for me to be on with both
Me
of
too.
you.
Me too.
Very
Me
unexpected
too.
surprise.
It's fun.
And
It's a lot
I
of
reached
fun.
out to you via Twitter, Richard, and also you, Serena. And
Great.
wow, this has truly made my day. So thank you both.
Have fun at your
fun
class,
today.
and I'll send you the code later today.
Okay, thank you both.
Bye.
Thanks, you, Tangier.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay,
You know
now
what?
we're back on. This is incredible. Isn't it incredible?
It's so much fun to just kind of riff with people when they come on live like that. You know, I miss in person, but this is fun. This is really
It
fun.
is.
I'm in the dark because when I came running in here and turned this on to join you, the painters then came and they have now put stuff over all the windows because they're painting the outside of the house. So it's a little dark.
So Square Eye Television Limited, I think I said I'd give you Fcpx
Cut Finder?
Cut Finder, yes.
Cut Finder?
Yeah, I want to make sure he used Final Cut Pro 10. So Garrett says 1,000 times and more. I'm not sure what that's referencing. It's been too long. We've been jabbering away. So anybody else want to come on here? If you want to join the chat, I can send you a link just for a quick. I'm not going to be on too much longer. We've been on for.
I just want to square. I hope you don't mind this, but I'm gonna. If you're freelance shooting and editing for BBC News, you're under a real strict deadline. I'm gonna plug Lumberjack real quick for you because
Sure.
you can log live on the set, and that will make your edit go so much faster. Go to lumberjacksystem.com and check that out. And if you have any questions, just get a hold of me on either Twitter or Facebook, and I can help you out. It's
Absolutely.
not expensive. Your whole team can use it. It's like $10 a month. Your whole team can use it. First month is free, so you can try it. But I really, honestly, when I'm in the field and I'm under a deadline, I'm logging on Lumberjack on my iPhone all the time, or the iPad Pro. So just throwing that in there. Oh, Richard, I can't hear you.
Have you done any demos or any tutorials for Lumberjack?
Oh, there's a ton of them on the website.
Okay.
Yeah, and also we started a new page on Instagram. We're going to be putting up a whole bunch of tutorials very shortly, but it's so easy to use. I can train PAs or ACs in 15 minutes on how to use it and put them out on a set to log, and it's just really easy. You just click buttons off and on when a certain subject starts, and if you haven't set the keyword up ahead of time, you can really quick add the keyword and back time it, and then just keep pushing the radio buttons off
Sure.
and on in your media.
Sure. So we
Yeah.
had that comment. How did that happen? Wait a minute. Can
What?
you please, I clicked the wrong one. Can you please throw some light on external SSD editor, leave files in place? Where does Final Cut Pro store the edits? The edits in Final Cut Pro are stored in the project file. That's where all the edits are. The project in Final Cut Pro is not the industry standard meaning of the word project. And some people are not fond of that. The project in Final Cut Pro is the timeline. That's where all the edits happen. So that's stored in the library. The project information is stored inside the library. The media can be stored externally on an SSD if you want, or it can be stored internally. You can switch back and forth, right?
And you'll
You can
get
switch-
a backup. You'll get a backup of your work, and then if you need to move to somewhere else or share with someone, you just export your XML and
Right.
send that to them. If they have the same media named the same way, the XML will allow you to trade your projects.
So
Your library.
the edits are stored in the project file. The project file is stored in an event, and that is stored inside of a library. That's where all the edit decisions are, the EDL, the edit decision list. It's called an XML for Final Cut Pro. But all that information is stored inside the library, the edits. The media can be stored inside the library, or it can be stored externally, either one. That's where the leave files in place comes from. If you don't, you can't leave files in place if you're copying media from a camera card. Okay, you can't leave files in place, well, you shouldn't if you're copying them from an iPhone, because you can't edit off an iPhone. You got to copy them to your library storage location first, then edit. Before you start editing, make at least 2 copies of your media. Don't go through a library and edit for hours and hours and weeks with one copy of your media. 2 copies, especially before you erase them from a camera card or an iPhone. Right, Serena?
Absolutely. And one other thing too about where to store your footage, I always leave it in the original location and the master location, just because those backup files are huge. And also if your media is native in an external hard drive, you don't take up so much room. I don't know what you're editing on, but I don't like to gunk up even the Mac Pro, which has I've got 2 terabytes on there. I don't keep media that I'm working with on the Mac Pro. It's always on an external drive. That's why I use the OWC drives, because they're so fast.
Right.
You can edit off of a tiny little Envoy Pro that's this big.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, we just got a question about how's performance of SSDs versus spinning drives. There's no comparison. SSDs spinning drives are 2010, SSDs are 2020. There's no comparison. Now the SSDs are more expensive and they don't have quite as high a volume, storage volume. But so I store media off of my Mac Pro on a RAID, which has spinning drives, but it's still faster because it's a RAID. So the more drives you have in a RAID, the faster the throughput is.
One thing about the SSDs is you only have, I don't know how many, 1,000 uses. And if an SSD drive goes, it's very, very almost impossible to recover anything off of. They're very robust. I mean, I've dropped them on tile floors, cobblestone floors, don't tell anybody, and they still run. But when an SSD drive goes, it's gone. So I don't store any of my permanent archival material on SSDs. They're just workers.
Absolutely. So that's very true. But that's why I said before you start editing, make at least 2 copies of your media.
Yep.
And if you lose one of those, you make a copy of that media before you start editing again. 2 copies, everything. How to make rendering faster. Is there any way? The only way that I know of is SSDs. For one, if you don't have SSDs, get an SSD drive. Connect via Thunderbolt 3, which is much faster. It's 4 times faster than USB 3. So Thunderbolt 3, and you had to get a more modern Mac. I don't know any other way to make rendering faster. Do you, Serena?
No, except Thunderbolt 4 is out.
Right. Oh, it is out? I know Intel said. Yeah, okay.
It's out. So there's some announcements coming very soon about some equipment that can help you work with Thunderbolt 4. I mean, like with me, I'm actually using one drive back in the back right now. That's FireWire 800. So I've got that. I've got Thunderbolt.
I have some of those.
2, Thunderbolt 3, and now I'm ordering Thunderbolt 4. So, I mean, when are they going to stop? It's just getting faster and faster.
They're not going to stop. Okay. I don't know if Thunderbolt 4 is that much faster than Thunderbolt 3. I don't know the specs on it. I've read some things. So Garrett says, who's going to attend the Fcpx Global Virtual Summit? I'm a media sponsor of Future Media Concepts. I have been. This is my fourth or fifth year that I've been a media sponsor, so I'll be promoting it on there. Maybe we'll get some passes to give away. It's only $199 this year because it's virtual, and it's 6 days. It goes from November the 16th to November the 22nd. The big thing is Apple's going to do a presentation. Typically, Apple in the past has specifically said this is a presentation only for the attendees of the summit. That's what they've said in the past. And they've shown us software. Well, they released Final Cut Pro 10.3, Final Cut Pro 10.4, Final Cut Pro 10.4.4. All 3 of those were released right around the summit within a day or 2. So this year, who knows? Who knows what they're going to do? I mean, the Silicon Mac's supposed to come out. There's obviously a new version of Final Cut Pro coming out at some point. Is it 10.5 or is it 10.4.11? Don't know. But the summit's a good time since Apple is doing a presentation, for them to show us something new, even if it's a preview. So Jagat says, why 2 copies? One is a backup copy. If suppose you worked on a project for a month, and then the hard drive that had your media broke. Everything's gone. You've lost everything, all your work for a month. If you have a backup, you can go back and restore your project. You have backup. Final Cut Pro makes its own backups, but you have your media. That's important. At least 2. I have some things that are 3 and 4 times backed up.
Yeah, I'm on the National Geographic project, top 10 of the year. We had camera crews literally in 10 different countries shooting behind the scenes of these photographers working. And I was on a G-Tech raid, and a few days before we're delivering to the network, the raid went down and had to be sent back to be replaced. And we never would have made our deadlines had I not kept original media in another location. So I could real quick refer to the XMLs or the Avid files, and we could bring we had to, at that point, you had to just bring it back into the central editing system down the hall. But yeah, always keep an extra copy. And I know it gets expensive though, because you have a lot of media. You have to buy the drives, but it's just part of working in this business, right?
No, absolutely. It's like building a house. If you build a house and the thing blew over, all your work is gone. Or if a hurricane came and took it all away. So you have to do at least 2 copies. I have 3 copies of some things. So Justin says, I see someone online mentioning 10.5 could have a roles-based audio mixer, blah, blah, blah. What did we say earlier? Audio is at least 50% of good video. So of course, the Final Cut Pro team's working on audio. Whatever that, roles is a different paradigm than all the other applications. So it's going to work differently. But of course, they're working on something. I mean, the audio has to be worked on. And I'm not on the beta, so I don't know. But I'm just saying that's obvious that it has to be worked on. And is it safe to update to Big Sur now? Is it safe for my plugins? No, not for plugins. And Big Sur's not even out. It's only a beta. Once again, I have a Big Sur hard drive that's only Big Sur, and my main hard drive is still on Catalina. So is it safe? No, it's not safe. It's not going to be safe for a while, especially plugins, especially for third-party plugins. We have no idea what the heck's going on with those. Serena, have we blabbed on long enough, or are we going to still...
I'm going to have to leave in a minute. Actually, I've been having so much fun. I'm running late for my next appointment, but it's just been so nice. We have people here from, gosh, you guys, tell us where you're from. I see somebody from India, somebody from the UK.
Canada. The West Coast, of course.
The country of Los Angeles.
The country of Los Angeles. Are you seeing the smoke from the fires, or is that gone now, or what's going on with that?
Well, I'm in San Diego, and it was really bad here for a few days. Was it? Okay. Oh, yes. It was so bad the birds were not flying. I have a lot of birds in the trees.
Wow.
They were gone. They were gone. The only thing were the hummingbirds were still coming to the feeder because that's life and death for them. But they were hiding underneath the bushes. The bigger birds, finally, the end of last week, they started to come back. It's terrible. Yeah.
So... Vidi, you want a copy of, you get your choice of Fcpx, Cut Finder, or iPhone Pro camera app. Let me know which one you would like, and you've won a copy. You've made some nice comments today.
Cedric's asking about the cloud.
I saw that. So are you keeping 2 copies of your work using the cloud? No. 2 physical copies on 2 physical hard drives, plus... third copy I use Backblaze in Backblaze. So that's my third backup. And I was trying to do a Big Sur dual boot system. Somehow I was partitioning my SSD that I have, 2 terabyte, and I erased it. And everything on it was gone. Now, one thing I do is I keep a database of all my drives with NeoFinder. So I went to my database for that drive. I saw everything that was on there, and I located backup copies of a lot of this stuff, but not 100%. I went to Backblaze, everything was there, downloaded everything back onto a hard drive. So 2 physical copies on hard drives and a 3rd copy for me in Backblaze.
Viddy, I'm sorry about all that flooding in India. I just wish you all the best. I'm praying for a really good outcome for everyone.
Yes, absolutely. So, Vinny,
Yeah.
tell me what you want: FCPX Cut Finder, or do you want the Pro Camera iPhone app? One of those two, you have just won. Yorkshire, UK, and Dubai. 2 more people watching.
How fun is this?
It is. It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
You know, Jay, I've never been to Dubai. I need to go shoot something in Dubai. Yeah. Cedric, it's always good to have a protection copy in a completely different location.
Absolutely.
I keep my media. Actually, I have a friend who puts my media in their house, so I have an extra copy over there. Absolutely, you have to be really careful. The problem with the cloud, if you have a lot of media, there's just no way you can upload everything to the cloud.
Right. Right.
It's impossible.
No, it's the bandwidth and everything else. You have to have physical copies. I have a safe deposit box in a bank that I keep hard drives in. So I have 2 physical locations as well. So Viddy says, iPhone app, sir. You got it. You got the Pro Camera iPhone app. And I'll contact you off of this live stream on Facebook, and I'll send you the code for that. Michael Wright says, I'm up in North Central Valley, Stockton, and sky is filthy today.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. My daughter's in-laws are in Reading, and the fire's very close to them. They've already packed everything ready to evacuate if they have to. It's terrible.
Every time I'm getting ready to come to the Creative Summit for this would have been the 3rd year, the fires have been there.
Well, Richard, do you remember walking all of us? They told us not to go outside, but we wanted to go to dinner. So there was
Right.
like 5 or 6 of us.
Right.
It was hard to breathe. That was the, what was that fire called? The big fire outside of Cupertino that year.
They have names for the fires?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like hurricanes?
That was a bad one.
Yeah. Well, but it happens, it seems to be seasonal because it happens right around from the fall, right? When everything dries, that starts drying out or whatever.
The problem we're having in California, my son-in-law is a fire marshal in Davis, and I was asking my daughter yesterday, it's the hot weather, the winds, lightning, and people still throwing cigarette butts out of their car when they're driving.
Right.
So just be careful.
So anyway, I think we're going to stop, Serena.
I'm going to go.
Absolutely.
I'll hang up and let you guys say goodbye to each other. Thank you, everybody, for coming on. It's really fun.
It's fantastic. You could make it today. Yeah. I'm really glad you could make it. Thank you very much.
Ecamm Live. You'll love it. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, everyone. I think I'm going to head out for today. This has been a very, very successful Final Cut Pro Radio TV Live. Let me just pull this up so let me pull this up, a couple of things, social media. So one of the other things that we have a new version of Final Cut Pro Radio, brand new episode just hit the streets. I'm going to pull that up here. This is just came out. Guys, professionals from around the globe. Fcpradio.com. So the Final Cut, that leaves the door open for 10.4.11, 10.4.12, 10.4.13.
Excellent. We're never getting to 10.5. Place your bets now, people.
Only 4K. Doesn't that sound funny? Final Cut Pro team is on fire.
Getting a magical beach ball.
Hey everyone, welcome to Final Cut Pro Radio, your home for the best Final Cut Pro tools from around the globe. So that just came out, episode 108, fcpradio.com. If you go, also want to plug a couple of places. This is Lumafusion, of course. We gave away a copy of Lumafusion today on the show. It's a fantastic, fantastic app for your iPhone. Turn that off. And the other one is Final Cut Finder. We've given away a bunch of copies of that today. This is a really, really cool app that the developer just put out. Fcpx Cut Finder analyzes a movie, identifies and cuts editing points, then sends results back to Final Cut Pro. And then we also had Pro Camera right here. Creative and Professional Pro Camera for the iPhone. You have to have the iPhone. So that's what we've done today on the show. Thanks everybody for tuning in. It's been an epic episode. Oh, you know what? Yeah. Let's see here. The phone is Hello. Yes, this is Richard. You've got something to tell me about the Fcpx Global Summit and the Final Cut Pro team in Apple. Really? That's what the presentation's going to be about? And we're on the air live right now. Okay, don't say anything live yet. I'll be able to say something as we get closer to the summit or the actual event. Well, that's very, very interesting. I won't say who you are. And I will not say what you've told me. Okay. Thanks for calling in. We always appreciate it here on Final Cut Pro TV Live. Thank you. Well, that certainly was interesting. That was about the Fcpx Global Summit, the Apple presentation. So that was very interesting. I'll have to keep. I think we will be pleased. And I'm going to be getting out of here. Call Apple on your phone. We just got that. Thank you very much. Very good. Apple calling, absolutely. Yes, breaking news. It's breaking news that I can't talk about. But hey, the Global Summit's happening in a few weeks. Here we go right here. Everybody is interested in that. Here is the Fcpx Global Summit. Dates announced November the 16th to the 22nd. You can get there, fcpxcreativesummit.com. All right, everyone. My name is Richard Taylor. I'm sure you know that. There it is back there. So this Saturday, if you want to, 4 o'clock, I will be streaming a band live from my studio outside, though. It'll be outside. Follow along, Richard Taylor TV. Let me put these up, social media posts up. Facebook.com, Richard Taylor TV. If you follow that, you'll be able to find out. You can also go to youtube.com, Richard Taylor TV. And that'll be the live band stream from this weekend. I appreciate everybody stopping by. We've had a lot of viewers, lots of comments today. We gave away a lot of apps. Netherlands. Gert says Netherlands. Okay. So everybody, this is Richard Taylor. I'm going to be signing off. You can follow along. YouTube. YouTube.com/Richard Taylor TV is a good place. You can also do Facebook.com Richard Taylor TV. That is, don't friend request me there because I don't accept friends requests from people that I don't know. Thank you for sharing. Absolutely. I appreciate everybody stopping by. This was a lot of fun today with the guest call-in feature, and we will be doing this again. My name, once again, is Richard Taylor, and I'm going to sign off. It's lunchtime, right? It's lunchtime. Oh, one more thing. This is something that I got. I'm going to show you this. This is my favorite new coffee. It's called Furnace Hills Coffee, Triple Threat. Triple Threat. It's actually roasted in Westminster, Maryland, but I want to show you this if I can. If you can see, these beans are really, really dark and really, really shiny. You can see those. Triple Threat. Furnace Hills Coffee. All right, everyone. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll be doing these on a regular basis as we have been. This is show 172 or something like that I've done live. I'll be broadcasting behind-the-scenes footage that I've got for the last 3 or 4 years during the Global Summit this year, and stuff, people talking in the lobbies. I've had stuff there for quite a while. And let me just check here. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Thanks, everybody, for stopping by. Let me turn that off. And I'll see you the next time we go live. Any breaking Final Cut Pro news, I will be back on the air. Thank you.